Hello, hello, my friends. Happy Monday. Hope you are all doing well. And welcome to Scrapbook Simple. That's what we're going to do tonight. We are using my system to create some layouts. I'm hoping that you are happy and doing well. I'm going to give it a couple of minutes for you to all come on in, get things set up. We are here on Facebook, and then we're also in the YouTube channel. So if you hit the subscribe button on YouTube, you'll get notified when I go live and you won't miss it. In Scrapbook, in Facebook, or Scrapbook, in Facebook, if you click on your notifications, and you can ask to be notified when I go live. Hey Jeanette, how are you? Welcome, glad that you're here. A couple things I want to tell you. A notice went out to subscribers today, and I hope that you are a subscriber so you don't miss anything. Oh, Shannon, new internet. That's exciting. Good, good. I hope that you are a member of my email list so that you don't miss anything. It usually goes out on Sunday night, but we had a crazy weekend, so it didn't go out till today. And it was sharing some of the information of what's going on. I want to show you how to find it, okay? So, in case you have not found it, you're going to want to go to caramiller.com. And let me just get over there. And you are going to scroll all the way to the bottom and see where it says, receive my list and stay in touch. Yep, that's where you want to be. So you just put your email in, and that's the end. That's all you have to do. And it's super simple, and I promise I don't bury you in emails. It's once a week, and I tell you, like, if there's any sales going on, what's happening. Hey, Marianne. So the news that went out today is that Inspire, our monthly membership of scrapbookers gathering, we get simple SVGs, all the things. Hey, Susan, is closing for enrollment. It's not going to be open forever. It's not open all the time. We're going to close the doors, and then the members are going to hang out. We're going to have fun in our little clubhouse. But you have until the end of May. If you know you want to do it and you don't want to forget, but you're not ready yet, send me a note and say, hey, save me a seat, and I will email you before I close the doors to give you a shot at jumping in, okay? Okay. One more thing I want to tell you about. So, join the email list. Inspire is closing at the end of, hey, Jean, at the end of the month. And if you're not sure what that means, when I talk about Inspire, let me bring you over there. Again, you just go to caramiller.com and click on the Inspire Scrapbooking, and this is where you can read all about it, what you're going to get. It was also in the mailing today, so people know. If you say, yep, it's for me, you may enroll. In the monthly subscription is $30 a month. If you want to jump in for 6 months, you get it for a little bit less. And if you're here for a whole year, you get it for a little bit even less. And you get a toolkit in the mail from me. So that's what that's all about. If you have any questions on anything, please ask. So tonight we are going to be working with this simple. You don't get the pictures of the grandbabies, but you're going to work with the simple. It's also free, so you can go ahead and download it because I want you to try this. It's kind of like one of those weird fruits that you never heard of before. Try it. You'll like it. You will. Once you try these, you'll see why we think these are the coolest ways to scrapbook. They just make life so simple. So how do I find the free one? Where it's free, where is it? Okay. Again, you're going to go to caramiller.com. Get you back there. Okay? And see where it says Scrapbook Simple System? Say that 3 times fast. Click on that. And you scroll down. And here's the one that we're working on tonight. And you can just purchase it right there. There's also one more thing. I've heard from people that really like the simples but aren't ready for Inspire yet. And they just want simples. They just want to add them to their collection. So I do new ones every month. And you can subscribe to those on a monthly basis. That's in the classroom. Or you can purchase them in the store, which is what is up there right now. They're less expensive if you subscribe. So I know it's a lot of stuff. And if you're not sure about the best way to get involved in this, just ask me. I'll help you. Okay? All right. Cool. So now, let's talk about this simple. Okay? Remember, simples are basically photo mats attached to a journaling piece. Sometimes. They don't always have journaling sections. Some do, some don't. And a shadow layer. Now, I cut my simples, my first layer, out of white. And the reason I do that is when I add the photo to it, it stops the photo and frames it. So the photo doesn't bleed off into the pattern paper that's behind it or the design or whatever else is going on. It showcases the photo, and that's my goal when I create these layouts, is that your photos are the star of the show. All right? Okay, so let me bring you into Design Space for a minute. And we will look at this. So that's what a simple looks like. It's an SVG that you download to your computer. The biggest trick is remembering where you saved it. You then bring it into Design Space, and when you look at it, you'll see there's 2 layers. Honest to goodness, if you're just going to cut it out, you don't have to do a darn thing. You are just going to go ahead and cut. You're just going to say make it. Cricut's going to pop it over to the cut screen. This is the background. In my particular one that I shared with you, it was a blue background. And then this is the white top layer. Okay? If you can't remember which is which, I always make the top layer white when I create the SVGs. So that when you send it to Design Space, you can tell. If you aren't sure, come back and look. Remember, you can change the color of this layer. If I wanted to change it to the blue, I could. All right? So there's that. The reason I want to bring you in here is I wanted to talk to you about horrors. Oh, yay! Oh, 50% off at Walgreens. Perfect. Good, good. Oh, Marion, I can't wait to see them. The part that we always, okay, so now I've got you past how do I fix my layout? What do I do with it? How do I lay it out? We got that. Okay, that's easy. We've got how do we frame our photos? Yep, we got photo mats. Check. We've got our layout. Check. Now, the journaling, the dreaded journaling. Okay, you've got 2 choices. Well, you've got multiple choices, but tonight you have 2. One, you can grab yourself a pen and you can write what you want. If that's you, then just go ahead and cut out the simple and don't worry about it. Just cut it out. Snap your photos on them, get them on there, and write in this it's a small space. It's not a lot of writing. It's really nice to include your writing sometimes. It really is. Okay, so that's one. Another option that we're not doing tonight, but you could stamp something on here. You could use an embellishment. You could use another photo. Like lots of options, but I designed this to get you to write the journaling. All right, so what's the journaling? Journaling really only has to be who, what, when, where, and why. Like why is this an important photo? Why did you include it? Why is this in your scrapbook? It might be because it's your favorite. It might be because you love it. It might be that it makes you think of a time when you had a really fun time. Those are the kinds of things. I try and tell myself that, what would I say to somebody if I was showing them the photo for the first time? Hey, Kathy. So, for example, this this shot of Lucy with the corn. This was her first time eating corn last summer. And we went to the farm, we picked it out. So in my journaling, I might write about our trip to the farm. Again, it doesn't have to be big. We went to the farmer's market, the farm stand at the farm. We saw the animals. We picked out corn. We brought it home and we cooked it. And Lucy loved it. July 2021. That's really all I need to get on there, right? Okay. So tonight, let me bring you down here again. I'm going to work with the same simple, but I have these two photos to work with. And this is my mom and Gracie. And then this is Gracie showing her how she should get into the pool. Nana didn't think it was a good idea to enter the pool that way, but Gracie did. Okay, so what's my journaling going to be about this? And I'm going to journal with my Cricut. I'm going to let Cricut do the journaling. So what's it going to say? The who, Nana and Grace. What, playing in the pool. Where, in the backyard. Summer of 2021. And Grace showing Nana how to get in the pool. Now, I don't know if I'm going to get all of that on here, but let's give it a shot. We're going to do it with Cricut, though, so come on over to Cricut. All right, so how do you journal on a simple? First thing you have to do is ungroup it, okay? And you're going to take the back layer, the shadow layer, and move it over. I'm going to journal right here. So I'm going to add my text. Now, when you pick your text in Design Space, you can tell it, I was playing with this earlier, it doesn't usually come up as a text, as a right layer, I'm sorry. I was playing with it. So I'm going to draw with my pen. I picked that it was a writing style, but I want to make sure that Cricut is going to write it, not cut it. I can always double check by coming over here in this layers panel and see this, it says pen. Somehow I've selected two things. I don't want those. Hold on. Let me go back to where I was. Okay, much better. I grabbed a couple things and I'm going to confuse you. So I want you and I want you to go over there. All right, let's start fresh. I want text. I want the Cricut. Sans is the default font that comes up. I'm good with that. I'm going to change it to a writing style and make sure that Cricut is going to write it. And it is. And it's still cutting my white layer. I don't know how I messed it up before, but I did. But that's where you double check what's happening. Cricut is, Design Space is what you see is what you get. There are no surprises in here. And this is the main objective of Design Space versus using the expression or the baby bug. Back in the day, there was often a surprise when the mat kicked out of your machine and you looked at it and thought, I didn't know it was going to be that big. I didn't know it was going to look like that. I didn't know, because you didn't. You have those funny booklets? Yeah. So with Design Space, now we know. All right. So that's what my text is going to be, just kind of a printed text. So remember, my who is Grace and Nana. Now, clearly, that's way bigger than I need, right? So I'm going to shrink that down, put it up here till I can see where it's going to go. Make sure it's going to fit on where I want it. Okay, so that's good. Now I'm going to click on it again. I'm going to hit enter. And I'm going to say summer 2021. Backyard pool. Grace teaches Nana how to get in the pool. Okay? So now I need to make it just a little bit smaller, not too much. So I'm going to click off. I'm going to get my handles. I'm going to make it just a little bit smaller. Make sure it's centered in there. Now, it's not my title. It's just what this is about. Now, I could make my title be Grace and Nana, but I'm just going to leave it alone for now. I now need to select the top layer simple and the writing. Notice I have 2 layers picked over here, and I need to say attach. So what's going to happen is it's telling Design Space where I want it to write. Now I'm going to say make it and continue. Now it's looking. It's asking me what I'm using. I'm using medium cardstock. And at the moment, I'm still using both Stampin' Up! And some Close to My Heart. The paper from Stampin' Up!, it's basic white 12 by 12. And the Close to My Heart is the White Daisy 12 by 12. Both of them cut beautifully on medium cardstock. So you kind of have to know your cardstock. We can talk about some testing, but tonight we're just going to go with it. I go with fast mode because I always do. Notice it wants me to load a pen and it's a cut layer. It's telling me right here, again, no surprise. So it wants me to make sure that I've loaded a pen and my fine point blade. Okay, so let me bring you over here. And I'm going to put a pen. Now it says black. I'm actually going to use this blue jade one. But Design Space does not need to know. Notice it kind of clips and you know it's in tight. And now I'm going to tell it go ahead. So now it's going to do the writing for me. I'll pull it ahead so you can see what it's doing. It's thinking. Has to think a little. So I'm asking it to do a lot. And now it's writing. Now, I could have clearly written this with my own 2 hands over here. But this is kind of a different way to add your journaling. To let Cricut do it. It's not a fast writer. It takes it a few minutes, but we didn't write a really long story. Now, what if you literally want a long story? You really have a lot. You can let Cricut do it. It can. You just have to be patient. But I tell you, I love the way it looks. So it's going to finish writing, and then it's going to go ahead and cut out the simple, and then we're going to put this together. I love watching it write. I don't know why. I just think it's really satisfying to watch it write. Almost done. Right? It's so neat. The trick to it is to make sure that you tell it to attach after you get the writing part where you want it, so that Design Space knows where to put it. Now I can save this project, and if I'm worried that it didn't work, or I don't need to save it again because I probably am not going to use this same journaling on this simple again, unless I was making multiple copies of this layout, which I guess I could be. So I'm not going to save this when I'm done. almost done with the writing. Cricut is actually saying that it's drawing. Okay. And now it's going to revamp, recalibrate itself. Not really. Just get organized. And now it's going to go ahead and cut. And if I did everything right, it's going to fit right in our simple. I like to live dangerously. Now, the number one thing that you have to remember is take your pen out and put your cap back on. They'll dry out. They will. So always, and you're really excited to get to this, but first things first, take the pen out, okay? And now, I'm going to slide you back without dropping you on the floor. And remember to take this off, you flip the mat over and peel the mat away from your cut, not the other way around. If I were to pull the paper off, it would likely curl up. Okay, so there we go. Let's flip it over. We have this left. Do not trash this. This is a lot. You can cut this. This could be a card. You could save it for a title. You've got lots of stuff left over, so don't trash it. And there is your simple, which is the same as this one. And there we go. All right, so now we're ready to add our photos. And you're looking at this saying, that doesn't fit. No, it doesn't, because it needs to use the simple tool. Now, the toolkit is this set of acrylic templates. They're super hard for me to show to you. There are 5 of them in our basic toolkit. If you don't have this already, you can order this. Just go to karamiller.com, click on the system, and you'll see the toolkit in there. And it comes in a little zip pouch, and I mail it right out to you. It's $30. This is the bonus that you get if you sign up for a year with Inspire. Okay, so the reason these are the coolest things in sliced bread is I do not have to figure out what size this is. I don't have to try and make sure that if I crop this and print it, it doesn't come out all pixelated through my photo editing program. I just print all my photos at 4x6. So now I am going to make sure I want grace. I don't really need the deck. I'm okay with the handles, but I don't really need all that parts of the pool. I like that the mountain and the trees and the sky are showing. So I'm going to put you right at the top. I could have slid it down if I didn't want that and I just wanted this part of her. But I'm going to put it right at the top. Remember when you crop with the toolkit, you want to use long bladed scissors, and you hold those right along the edge and you just cut. It's that easy. And now your photo is going to fit right in the space right here with your frame around it, right? My journaling is here. Now this one's going to go down. And I'm ready for a title, some fun embellishments on this one. And I've done the hard part. I've done the journaling. I've done the layout. I have everything. Well, not yet. I will in a minute. I will have everything where I want it. Flip this over. I could ink the edge of this if I wanted to get carried away, or some chalk. I am running out of adhesive here. I feel like this one's empty too. I may have to go to the drawer. All right, well, we'll live with it for now. We'll come back. And then you just pop this down. Right? And now I'm ready to add it to my background paper. This is where my title will go. How can I figure out, again, I don't want to measure, how am I going to figure out my title? Well, we're going to go back to Design Space. So come back here, and we're done with this because we don't need to cut out our shadow layer. We already did that, right? So yep, we're going to cancel the cut, and we're going to come back all the way to the beginning. Now, I don't need the text, remember? So I'm going to click on this. I'm going to detach it. I always save it till it actually does it, because what if it messed up? What if it didn't really do what I wanted? So I save it till I get it done, but then I'm not going to worry about it. So now I have this and this, right? I'm going to regroup these guys, and then I'm going to show you how we figure out what size title we want. All right, so let's zoom out a little. I need to know that my background paper is 12 by 12, right? Okay, so I'm going to take, I just stuck myself to a mat. I'm going to go in here to the shapes, and I'm going to grab myself a rectangle, or a square, I'm sorry, and I'm going to change it to 12 by 12. Now, the first thing you're going to notice is over here, there's a warning sign, and it's because this is 12 by 12. So if I tried to cut this now, I'm going to get a warning from Design Space saying, nope, you can't. Remember, the largest width that Cricut can cut is 11.49. So I can still do this. I would just have to turn this layer off, and then that warning goes away. But let's do that, and I'm going to change this color just because I don't like the black. I'm going to make it a little green. And I'm also now going to use arrange, and I'm going to send it to the back. All right, so now this is what, use your imagination, the colors are not perfect, but this is what my layout looks like, right? I've got my photos, I've got my journaling, and I said I wanted to put the title right here. Okay, well, what title do I want? Well, I'm going to click on phrases because now Cricut has this cool phrase option. And I'm going to do pool time. I don't know what it's going to come up with. No idea. Oh, let's see. Summertime is cute. Party time. How about welcome to the pool? Let's grab that, okay? And I'm going to add that to the canvas. Okay, well, it's okay, but it's a little big, right? It's too big for this layout. So I'm going to size it till I get it where it's going to fit. It's going to go here. I'm probably going to angle it like that, right? All right, so now let's look over here. And you can see that I'm going to have to cut 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 layers to cut out this one title. Well, I could turn it into a print then cut, or I could cut some, print some, lots of choices with these. This is what's cool about the Cricut images. So let's move this stuff out of our way. So we've got just our title is the right size now. A couple things that we can do. Notice when I cut this out, these little black lines are going to have to be, I'm going to have to put them down. I'm going to have to glue them down individually, little black lines. Well, that's going to be kind of a pain to do. So how about if I do this? I'm going to select this whole thing, and I am going to give it an offset, which is the shadow version here in Design Space. You're thinking it's taking a really long time. It is. It's kind of slow. That green line that's going across is when it's working. And I'm going to say apply. Now that looks really icky because it turned it all black. But let's change this to a yellow so that you can see it. All right, so there is our welcome to the pool. I am going to take this black layer and I'm going to slice it through the yellow layer. I know this sounds crazy, but watch what I'm going to do. I am going to take these guys off for a minute. I'm going to ungroup it. I'm going to take this black layer back, maybe. Yep. And I'm going to put this in place. All right, see where it is? That's where it wants to go. I'm going to select, and I'm going to slice. Doesn't look like much happened, but it did. Bring this away. Bring this down. And now notice I have holes, so I don't have to glue anything. It's just poked holes through it. So what's going to happen is it's going to show, when I bring this over my paper, you're going to see the to the pool, the to the, is going to show through on the other side. Just like welcome is going to show through the color on the other side, right? So now this is just making life a little bit easier. I still have, so this layer I can delete. I don't need it anymore. So now I'm down to the yellow, the blue, that kind of maize, this color, pink and green. And I do have to cut all of those out and put them all together. But I picked the creepy one, the one that was the hardest to work with. And I said, yeah, I don't want to do that. So I didn't. So now these guys will all come back to push this to the back. And then I'm going to bring, so I'm going to cut these all out. I'm going to have to position my P, O, my L, and my welcome, and my this O, right? Super easy, but I took the trickiest, the hardest one, and now I don't have to do it. Another way you could do that, if you didn't want to do the slicing and you didn't have a good color behind you, you could have turned that into a writing layer. But that only works when you give it the offset, because you've got to give it something to write on. Okay? Anybody have any questions about how that works? Design Space, coolest thing ever, but you got to know how to make it talk to Cricut. Okay? All right. Well, thanks for coming. Here's our layout that we did tonight. I do like that Welcome to the Pool title. I think I'm going to cut that out, and I'll show you what this looks like tomorrow. Remember, some deadlines are coming. If you want to be in Inspire, this is the kind of stuff we do in Inspire. We have a monthly class. We have a Zoom crop. We hang out. We have our own private Facebook group. We chit-chat a lot. People share what they're working on, or they talk about not seriously important things. Just fun. It's like going to a real crop, only we're in home in our jammies.